Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond the Surface. Thank you for always coming back to watch. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the views. We got all your messages and we're so excited and we're responding to them one after the other. My name is Tobiloba Grace or Dolphin, and with me is my co-host, and she is
Olakemi Yemi Olani. Beyond the Surface is a platform where we talk about stories. I know we all are something at the moment, but there's a way we became what we are currently. And so Beyond the Surface is where we go back into layers, into how we started, things that formed us and how we got here. So this is a place you want to be. Sit back and relax and enjoy all of the story. It comes out with a lot of wisdom that you can get to use for your personal life, and I hope it blesses you as well. Today we have in the house a beautiful sister of ours.
Yeah.
She's our guest for today and she's going to be sharing. Her name is Ijoma Glory James.
Ijoma is a seasoned entrepreneur. She deals with phones and phone accessories, both in large scale and small scale, which is wholesale and retail. She has the passion to see everyone have gadgets for communication, and that's a whole lot. For me, it's a big dream. I really appreciate that. And today she's here to share a story. I'll be hearing from her and we'll also be learning from her. So, Ijoma, we're going way back to how we started, your journey from the beginning, and how you are able to navigate your season face by face. You need to tell us. We would want to hear from you. So let's get to meet Ijoma.
Thank you for having me.
You're
It feels
welcome.
so good to be here.
You're
You guys
welcome.
are doing a really great job.
Thank you.
So I grew up in a family of six and I'm the first. So growing up, I used to watch my dad beat my mom so much as the first. So I was the one who sees everything that happens. I used to watch him beat her so much that sometimes I would join and he would beat me too.
Wow.
I can remember one day my dad had beat my mom so much. Our fifth child, that was our fourth son, that was our first son. My mom was heavily pregnant with him, like 8 months or 9 months thereabout.
Okay.
And she had an issue with my dad, and she kicked her so hard, and she flew up and now landed their weight, and that was how she entered into labor.
Are you
Wow.
serious? Wow.
That was
Wow.
how she got into labor. And my brother and that was our first son, and he almost died.
Wow.
There are occasions that my dad beat my mom so much, and I'll come to retaliate or to fight my mom, and he will beat me. I
Wow.
remember one day he was beating my mom. We were in the room, inside the room. He was beating her inside the room. That all of us we now fought outside. There is popular bakery that is outside our place. That was where my dad beat me so much. After beating me, he still left me and went back to kitchen. Oh.
Wow.
So I grew up seeing all of that, and it was looking like we are doing so well. Like we didn't lack what we are going to schools, but we didn't know that there are so many things that my mom covered.
So I was going to ask you how old you were when all this started.
I've always seen my dad beat my mom right from a very young age. So it's not like assessing it as 14. It's something that has always happened. So I'm sure that my mom in her grave will not forget the person that introduced my dad to her, because she passed through a lot in that marriage where my mom was an entrepreneur. She had to cover a lot of things that we didn't know. She had to hide to give her mom money.
Wow.
She had to hide to do certain things. I could remember vividly an event of a customer. My mom we used to sell food,
Okay.
cooked food. So very vividly, a customer, Mr. Ozoma, that we used to buy market from. We used to buy raw rice, raw beans, and stuff from him in wholesale. So at a point, my mom was sick, and she didn't go to the market for like a week or so.
Yeah.
And the man came to the house to ask what happened. I cannot forget the kind of beating that my mom took that day.
Wow.
She took beating from the parlor back to the room.
Wow.
Like that I had to come in, and my dad had to beat me. It's still ringing fresh in my head, even after
Wow.
so many years after. My dad had to beat my mom, beat me after I still go back inside and go and beat my mom. Like it was a case that we could not save her.
Wow.
We thought that we are doing fine, but we didn't know that it was my mom that was bearing most of the cross and covering most of the things. So when I was 14, during the birth of our last child, because at the time before my mom died, my dad is a businessman. He goes to the Jos. He sells red oil in bulk, big quantity. So he goes to Jos with the red oil. So 2 years before my mom passed, my dad lost all his life savings. He lost all his business.
Wow.
At the time, oil was very expensive in the north and it was very cheap in the east. So he had to buy with all his life savings. He even had his friends had to send him to even help them sell. Like they gave him to sell. So he would enter bus, then the trailer would carry the oil. So the trailer that was carrying their oil hit a 17-seater bus in Umuahia and everybody died.
Wow.
So the youths in that vicinity were very young and they burnt the trailer
Wow.
and everything. That was how he lost everything.
Wow.
So on coming back, he started life all afresh, all over again. So we had to start doing the local farming with my mom's business, right? So that was how we were surviving and it started picking up again. So 2 years after then, that was in 2005, my mom was pregnant with her last child. I was 14 years then, and I can remember vividly, it was first time SS1. So my mom used to deliver, like they say, like the Hebrew madam, like very fast. You'll be sitting with my mom now, and the next 45 minutes, they are calling you to bring food in the hospital as she has given birth.
Wow.
So I used to go to the market with her. We used to sell food. Like we cook white rice in the morning. I remember very well. Cook white rice in the morning, cook at the day. In the afternoon, we cook jollof rice. So on that particular day, we finished selling. We have market days, like Eke market days. If you're from the Igbo culture, you will know about Eke market days. So it was an Eke market day, and we finished selling. And she was like, "Let her go home before me." I didn't even know she was due. Let her go home before me. So I should watch the place, gather things, lock up and come back. On getting home, I was told to bring food. There's a particular maternity that she used to deliver. I was told to bring food that my mom had delivered. And I'm like, wow. So my mom would deliver today and come back the following day. That's how easy it is for her. So the following day she came back. She was doing well. She was healthy. My grandmom came because my grandmom used to come anytime my mom gave birth. And I used to share a very close relationship with my grandmom.
Wow.
She used to call me name the day. That was how much she loved me. So I used to share a very close relationship with my grandmother. So like 2 weeks later or like 10 days later after giving birth, she started shouting, having headache, like she was having internal bleeding. All these things were happening when I was small. The thing is, God prepares you ahead of your journey. So most of the things that happened then, when I couldn't remember now, because I think God gave me the kind of heart that He gave me because He knew the journey ahead. So that place I said, I know you. Like there's a person that knows you. So He gives you the body and He prepares you ahead
for the journey.
Because I used to think, Ijoma, why is it that you don't used to remember things? I don't used to remember things because that is how God has wired me to prepare me for the journey. So most of the things that was happening then, it was happening. I'm a person, I don't used to keep dates. I don't know how to keep dates. Like you did something to me in February 2020, it's not me. So most of the things I could not remember, but I can remember the major ones because I know how I felt. So 10 days later, they took her to the hospital. There's one hospital that is not really far from our place. We went a private hospital. I think we stayed for about four days. So I was the one involved because I was the eldest and I was the one that was old enough to see the things that were happening. So we stayed like 4 days in the hospital. We got back home 3 days again. So these things happened in a space of 1 month because our last one was just a month and 3 days.
Wow.
Our last one was born October 3rd, 2005, and mom died November 7th, 2005.
Wow.
So it happened in a space of just a month and 4 days. So after we got back from the private hospital, she was doing fine. Maybe like a week later or 4 days later, she started shouting about the same headache again. So we were taken to general hospital in Aba and we stayed for like 1 week. So she was recovering and doing better. They said she needed blood transfusion. The brothers came, their blood matched, and they gave her blood. So we were supposed to be discharged on Monday. But before then, it's like at a point my mom knew she would die because already she had given her child that was just a month old to the mom. She was like, "It's your child, will take care of him." And I'm like, "What is all this?" She gave the child to the mom. Like she specifically told the mom that this is your child, take care of him. And she would look at me and she would shake her head and tears would drop. I would be like, as a small child, I would be like, "Mom, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." At a point, she would hold me in my hands. She would say, "It is you, I pity you." She would shake her head. Tears would drop. It kept going on like that. It's like she didn't want me to be around. So the last time I went to give her food or water or something, in the hospital, I was in the hospital with my grandma because my grandma was taking care of my brother. So she was like, "It is you, I pity you. For me, I'm going." And I'm like, "You're going where? You're not going anywhere, ma." So I just left. I think I left too. There's a way, general hospitals, they don't allow people that comes with you to the hospital to sleep in the ward with you. So you come to check on them once in a while. So around 4 a.m., I just heard my grandma singing. You know how old women behave. She was singing, and I can remember the song very vividly. She was singing and dancing the whole ward. That she woke everybody up, everybody in the ward up. So when my mom died, one person that was by her side had already died. And I'm like, "No, me, I'll go with my mom." So I'm an Adventist by birth, so I've always been a church goer. So my mom died. So people were even thinking that I am their last born because my mom died at 35. She was very, very, very young when she died. So that was how it came back. And after my mom died, there was plenty back and forth from my dad and his kindred people, his family, his children, and stuff like that. A lot was going on, so he made them delay the burial. So after my mom died November 7th and she was buried February 9th the following year. After the whole back and forth, that was when the journey started. We now began to see all the things that my mom used to cover. But for, let's say, 6 months after my mom died, I think my dad's head was still there because at that time, I started to marry him as a wife because we were still trying to gather our lives together. We started farming in large scale. We started producing red oil in large scale. We started life all affairs, and my dad started buying fruits like oranges. We buy oranges in trees, in orchards. We buy like the udara that we know, the pear that we know. I will be the one that will climb, like people, if you see me on top of trees, you won't believe I'm a girl. Before my mom died, I have been a bright student from the beginning. So I was the best student for Junior WAEC in the whole of England.
Wow.
So I was given a scholarship.
Wow. So
the first WAEC that I took, so that was when we started knowing what was happening. The first WAEC that I took was that money that I realized from the scholarship. That was how I took Junior WAEC. So at a point, my dad would go out to drop 30 naira. After those days. There's one thing that you need to know about all these things. It's not like they are bad people. It's just that they are ignorant. So my dad is this person that is promiscuous. So we saw different women. So after the day that my mom died in the hospital, the woman slept in her house.
Wow.
After the day that my mom died, like on that Monday morning,
Someone whose wife is not feeling fine
is in the hospital. Had the woman warming her bed. So after the day my mom died, that woman slept in her house. So after my mom died, she was now coming to show her face.
Occasionally.
It's not even occasionally.
She's now normal.
She's not normal.
Time. Okay.
It's not even only her. There are other women that used to come. So at a point, at that young age, I had to. So like I said before, God prepares you for your assignment. Like He gives you the mind. So I have this mind that my siblings first. I don't know whether it was even because of what my mom said, because of the way that God has created me. So I have my siblings in mind always. So after my mom died during the burial, so our second born, she was already staying with one of my auntie, but our relatives shared my siblings. So it was just me and our first boy child that was staying together with my dad.
Okay.
So
the baby was with your grandma.
The baby was my grandma. So after my mom died, the dad stepped up and the mom stepped up in helping with bringing up the boy. So they buried my mom on February 9th, and on March 15th, the dad passed.
That's your grandfather? Wow.
My grandfather passed. So, and as at that time, at any slightest offense, my dad would beat me. Like, when I say God prepared me for their sign, there are so many scars that I've received. Like, at a point, me and my siblings, we got so used to it that we used to call it blending.
Blending.
My dad would beat you not with cane, but with knife.
Wow.
You know, the normal knife that people that used to cut palm tree and palm wine tapas use in the village.
Wow.
That's the knife my dad used. So at that age, my dad will beat you. Not even will he only beat you, he will send you out of the house, and you will not come out of the house for the next 1 month or so.
Wow.
Because if he beats you, he comes outside with his chair, with his torch and the knife, and you dare not come close to the house.
Wow.
I remember vividly the day I was sent to buy beans. You know these beans, and the beans poured away.
Was it cooked?
It was not normal raw beans, fresh beans, and the beans poured away. My dad, I slept outside for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And my dad beat me so much. So he got a stage that I had to run to this relative, run to my mom's place, run to my dad's place, and everybody was tired of our kids.
Were your relatives aware of the way he was treating you?
They were aware at the point. So there's this thing my dad does. He beats you, and he will not want you to go to another place. Like he will not want another person to help
get
you.
to know about it.
Even after his business crashed, when he started all over again, he was doing fine.
Very well.
So people will hear about my dad and they will not help us because they know that my dad is doing fine. They know that he has the money to take care of any of his kids to any level. I think the problem started when I started growing there. That was when we started puberty stage.
Yes.
That was when we started having back and forth. My grandma was the only person that knew me, so she always stood her ground and spoke for me. For any time that my dad would say, Ijoma did this, my grandma would say, you are lying. So she was the only person that always stood for me. So it kept on going on like that till I took that WAEC. After I took the WAEC, I failed the WAEC. I failed the WAEC.
The best student, you can imagine.
Okay.
The trauma too.
I did my chemistry, my physics and biology was
You were a science student.
I was a science.
Wow.
The 3 subjects were C's, and that was my core subject.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of my struggle. So as at this point I'm telling you, my dad has stopped taking care of any of my siblings. So I was the one that at that age I had to work to get money to take care of them. So I've always had this, my siblings first in my mind. So I used to take care of everybody. So at a point, I had this, my uncle, that's my mom's. So there are 2 of my aunt and my uncle. We were very close. They always looked after me. My uncle had, sometimes he was in Oka. He had to travel all the way from Oka to Aba all the time. I would sleep on the bed floor to come see me. That was how close I was with my uncle. So this my uncle was the one that was enlightened at the time. So at that point, he took my dad to open an account, a first bank account. And my dad had almost 1.5 million in his account at that point.
Wow.
And we, his children, were struggling.
Wow.
We didn't, no food to eat, no clothes to wear. And my dad was in our presence. There is this particular girl that is my friend. we are age mates. So at a point, like he would tell the girl that is it because of you don't worry. When she go, you can come. So it was a case of that my dad was sleeping with that girl, sleeping with her sister, and sleeping with the mom.
That's terrible.
I'm sleeping with the mom. So these men that are always coming, are you not giving them money? So why are you neglecting
your own children?
Why are you neglecting your
own
children? What is happening? So we kept on going like that. So at the point, I got my dad's ATM card. I went to withdraw. I think it was 150,000 after that. When I withdraw that money, I sold the ATM. He didn't even know. I bought clothes for my siblings. I paid all their school fees and all the while. So he had the particular lady that slept in the house the day that my mom died was the one that kept coming. So I think he took him to diabolical place or something like that. And they now found that so when he was looking for that money, they now found out that I took the money. That was the beginning of my nemesis. My dad turned against me. My own dad sent accident. I was just walking on the road and car flew. When I came back, my dad saw them and he was just laughing at me. He was just laughing at me. I'm like, what? So at that time, I started being an because.
But did he confront you to ask you questions?
He did not confront me.
He didn't bother to ask. He just knew and kept quiet.
So that was when so many things happened. So at that point, after I left secondary school in SS2, after I took that first one, I had to take up a job. I was 17 at this point, so this was 3 years after my mom passed. I had to take up a job in a factory that they manufacture plastic and slippers. Take care of my siblings and take care of myself. Even as the father, I'm taking care of my siblings and taking care of myself. I was not doing it in peace because there were days that my dad, I could remember there are instances I don't forget. There was a day that my dad had to beat me with a file, this file that they used to finance.
Wow.
I don't know what happened that day. He just used that file, he hit me here. That was how I bleeded from my house. Because because my place is like inside the village. So I had to bleed like that from the village to the market. So I was treated.
Wow.
And I now went. So at a time, I was wondering what would make my dad turn against me. Because he had boys. We have 4 girls and 2 boys. And he had girls. So it was happening that as if my dad sees me, the devil in him comes up. So that was how we continued until I started doing that job. I think in 2010, I now got admission in Nekede. So when I got the admission, I was happy that at least
You're progressing.
The first step.
You're progressing in school.
If I go to my dad now, it's a way forward. I went to my dad. I told him I've gotten admission. My dad asked me that, did we ever discuss admission?
Did I tell you are going to
who told you are going to school?
You're going to school? Did we ever discuss admission? So before we got the admission, after secondary school, I went to take up computer application. So there was the one free one that government was doing. So he said I should go and do that one. But on getting to doing it, they've closed.
Wow.
So I think I had like 500 then. I went to register in one private mechanic inside town, and that was how I did computer training. So until the day I finished the computer training, my dad did not know that I was paying for it.
Wow.
He did not know that I was.
Oh, he thought probably it was still the free one.
He did not know that I was even paying transport. So everything that I am today is because God helped me. I did not grow up in a place where I had somebody to come and sit me down. This is poverty, this is adoption, or teach me. I did not grow up in the place of that love. I never had that fatherly love. I never had that motherly love. Even the people that I wanted to help, my dad chased them away. He has to chase them away because at the point they'll be like, I don't want to talk, and your dad will say, I have spoken.
I want to ask you now, okay, what stage now, what at this stage you are now, what's your relationship currently with your dad?
Okay, we are still trying to mend the relationship.
Okay.
I won't say we are so fine,
Okay.
but I'm trying my best. At least call him,
Bring him close.
bring him close, call him, send him money, and do and asking God to help me. Because the truth is that it is really a lot.
But
Because-
deep down in you, can you say you've forgiven him?
Well, I would say I have forgiven him because a lot of all the things that I went through, it's not even only about me. It happened to all of my
Your siblings? Yes, of course, it will affect them.
Even the 4 girls, he sent everybody out.
Wow.
He sent everybody out. It happened that at the point I had to run away from the village. I had to run. So after I got that admission, and I said I would go on after all. So I went, and at the end of the day, the admission didn't work. So that was how I ran away from home, and I settled in Owerri. I started working. Another I ran away from where I went to Lagos. So for like 8 years, I ran away from home. We didn't talk. We didn't know where I was. At the point, I had to start picking up my siblings one after the other. And he did not know where we are for like 10 years. We didn't speak on the phone. He didn't know where we are. He didn't know where we are doing. How we are doing. It's a lot because immediately our last one clocked 5. My grandmother died. So that was breaking point for me.
Wow. So you now had to
Immediately
become a
our
mommy.
last one clocked 5. My grandma died. So that was the breaking point for me because I was like, this one person that is always there for
For
me.
you.
This one person that can always run
Stand
and
for
she
you.
won't chase me away. It's gone.